On today's episode, we find out what not to do if you're in the final round of Club Champs. Ugh.
It's an email special. We're going to be discussing what is the best way to play well if you're only playing once a week. All that and more incoming.
Just two lads, head down, boring back ceaselessly into the end of the year.
Wow.
It's middle October, it's cold, it's dark, can't really play golf in the afternoons anymore, but that won't stop them doing 2 podcasts a week. Welcome back to Golf is Real My Life.
I think, if anything, when you can't play as much golf, you lean into talking about golf even more. I think this time of year brings out even more, almost like a sort of what's just happened to my life over the last 6 months.
I certainly think I watch a lot more YouTube golf right now. Now that the PGA Tour's sort of gone away, I do have a... It's like anything, is it? When you can't have it, you want the thing that you can't have.
Of course.
Now that the majors have gone and the Ryder Cup's gone, all of a sudden I see a couple of my favourite golfers heading off to India. And I think, maybe I do want to watch the DP World Tour, actually, when I think about it.
Isn't it the race to Dubs up soon? Isn't that happening? The old cheeky
that's
race
all
to
going
Dubs?
on. That's all happening. Number 2 in the race to Dubai, Marco Penge, of course.
Oh my
Your
God.
friend of mine.
What a weekend it could be for Penge. So that's quite nice, because that is the last decent thing, isn't it? The race to Dubai. Once that is done.
Yeah, but this is the problem with the whole wraparound season now, is when the race to Dubai ends, or I say not the problem, based on what everything I've just said, it's not the problem, but the issue people level against the wraparound season now is, when's the race to Dubai finishing? That is like around Christmas, isn't it? Race to Dubai.
No, it's soon, isn't it? It's soon. They were talking about it. I think it's soon. Have a live Google on the show.
November the 16th is when the race to Dubai finishes. So by the
Right.
time that's done, we always start talking about, there's always that event, isn't there, over in, which I don't think's happening next year, actually, over on the PGA Tour over in, is it like the Caribbean?
Hawaii.
Or something like
Hawaii,
that?
yeah.
Over in Hawaii, which isn't happening because of a water issue. We always talk about that, and that's like January. So they literally have 6 weeks off, and then bang, we're back. But anyway, we're not doing this. We're not doing this on today's show. What are we doing?
Got distracted. Today we are going to do an all-episode email special. It's what you guys have been not asking for, and it's what we are not going to deliver. Sorry, hang on. It's what you guys have been asking for, and it's what we're going to deliver. You're welcome.
Yeah. We're still in the backlog, and I refuse to live in the backlog any longer. So off we go. Are you ready? I'll start, Tom.
Hit me. Go.
Over to Ollie Cole. Hi, Tom's loving the podcast. Can't think what's keeping you off the top spot still, unless it's the beardy chaps who only post about 2 episodes a month now. I don't know who those guys are, actually.
No, doesn't ring any.
The Whipping Warcast. The purpose of my email is twofold. Firstly, to humble brag about my progress this year. Welcome to the whole podcast. That's just what we do. But secondly, to pose a question about how far I can realistically go from here.
Right.
This is interesting.
Wow. Okay.
2014 was a horror year for my golf. I had a lesson at the start of that year, but in making what felt like wholesale changes to my setup and posture, it took me a long time to grasp it, and I frankly played horrible golf all year. That's sad, isn't it, when that happens? When you have a lesson and it just doesn't change anything quickly.
It's the evil of lessons, I'm afraid, especially if you're going to rebuild stuff and you just have to take a deep breath and accept that you're going to play some horrible golf. And it's really, really testing, because the major cruelty of it is that you'll get a lesson, you'll whack a couple of balls with the pro and go, oh, that's a whole different feel. Oh, and then you think, and everyone does it, you think, that's it. I'm done. I've done it. I'm in the winner's enclosure, and then you go and play, and it doesn't happen. So and then you doubt the lessons and everything.
Don't you think this is only true, though, of big changes when you have lessons?
Yeah.
I don't want to put people off lessons and think that you're always going to go backwards. Like, if you go to a lesson with an exact thing that you are trying to fix, you can often walk away with that thing resolved. Like, whether it was me with driver, couldn't hit it, then got it back in the bag. Or if you struggle with getting out of a bunker, a half an hour lesson on a bunker will give you the skills to get out of a bunker. However, if you go into a lesson and go, I want a full rebuild, then that's going to take long.
It's like renovating a house, isn't it? You're either getting someone in just to just to paint the living room, or you are knocking through and doing a side return, and it's big structural stuff. You need to make it very clear to your coach when you go in. You need to say, look, I really want to. These are the problems I've had this year, whether it's back pain, whether it's no good under pressure, whether it's lack of distance, whatever it is. And then the pro will say, well, look, this is what you need to do over the next few months, and it's going to take time, and you're going to be a bit rubbish. Or you go in like you did, Tom, and you had real success with this briefly, is say, I need a driving lesson.
Yeah.
And then have a wonderful, wonderful time unlocking your driving for a bit. Like, you can ask for different things from pros. But anyway, back at the email from Ollie. Go on, let's go back to Ollie.
Back to Ollie. By the early part of the year, I'd gone up as high as 16.9. I decided to stop videoing my range sessions to see where I was going wrong, and this turned out to be revolutionary. I'd recommend doing that to anyone looking to improve. What you think you're doing and what you're actually doing are likely to be very, very different. For me personally, I could see that my shortened backswing was in fact looking like a cross between John Daly and Stretch Armstrong. Way too long and with a flailing right elbow that sent me swinging way over the top. Once I was able to sort these out, my handicap came tumbling down and a rich vein of form. Thank you. Over the last couple of months has seen my handicap tumble to 12.12. Remember, he was basically 17 handicap, an all new low for me. When I first got back into golf around 8 or 9 years ago, 12 was the target I'd set myself to be happy with. The reason I never had ambitions of single figures was that my swing had always been on the slow side, and my driver still seems to only average around 230 yards. Now, on that, I think, Ollie, you'd be surprised at the amount of golfers who only hit who hit the ball 230 yards.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Ollie,
there's nothing wrong
that's
with that.
That's a carry distance. It must be a carry distance.
No,
Ollie,
maybe it's not. Even if it's not, it's still okay.
But it is still okay. But the thing is if it's not a carry distance, what I would suggest is that you work on carry distances because they are the most important distances. If you have a full rollout distance, then the difficulty with that is your rollout distance between the height of summer and winter is going to be vastly different.
Yeah, it is.
So what I would recommend is always working on a carry distance because that's something that you can take no matter what course you're on, no matter what season you're on. Like a 230 carry in summer will probably roll out 260. 265?
The dream. So I think we're on about that, Tombo. I don't think we're on much more than 230, 240
no, God.
Carry.
Nope. I totally agree with you. Like my longest drives in summer were 275, 280, and I know for a fact that's carry distance of about 230 to 240.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a problem in golf where people always say they hit the driver far further than they actually do. So anyway, back to the email on your 230 yards. A bit more now with rollout in current conditions. He answered the question quite literally.
Current conditions, of course. This email was sent on the 22nd of August. Hi, Ollie.
Yes, this does seem to be a decent amount of correlation with single-figure golfers hitting their drivers over 250 yards more often than not. I've just had a chipping lesson to try and bridge the gap by improving that area. What do you think in regards to distance? Can I get single figures? Even the best rounds in my current run were only 9 or 10 over, but closer to 11 score differential due to course ratings. So I need to gain something somewhere. Or do I just invest in some speed sticks for Christmas?
Oh, no.
Yours golfingly, Ollie Cole.
Thank you, Ollie Cole. Oh, mate, I'm really... you've caught me at a particularly anti-distance moment as well. And also, I would say that the course I play at, you do not need to be long, you need to be accurate. And I believe this to be true of pretty much any course. Park your driver and you'll do fine. Park your chipping or your short game and you're absolutely screwed. And by park, I mean, don't play it well. If you screw up your driving and just put it away and forget about your driving, you can still build around. But your short game and the chipping is so much more important. If you are hitting a solid, say your driving is 220 yards, right? And that is what you do. And you hit it down the middle, and then you are hitting those irons in, and yes, you are going to find that you're hitting a 5-iron rather than, say, an 8-iron that your other guy's hitting. And those 5 irons aren't always going to go on the green. But then you've got a good short game waiting for you at the green. You're getting up and down. If you start to go, right, I'm going for it, I'm going to hit this 260, 270-yard drive, you start spraying it, you start out of bounds, you start losing balls, you start being out of trick, you chipping back onto the fairway. the danger and the allure of hitting it further, I think, is a fool's game, to be honest.
So on the other side of that coin, Ollie, what I would say is that I don't know your driver game, so I don't know what it's like. All I can say is having distance off the tee was the biggest change in my golf this year. Going from having a forward in the bag to having a driver in the bag has revolutionized my game. The only way I got down to 8 was by having a driver, okay? Yeah. That wasn't going after distance, but that was going from hitting 200 yards in the middle of the fairway to hitting 250 yards in the middle of the fairway. That changed my game, right? But that wasn't me striving for distance. That wasn't me trying to get into a longest drive contest. That was me needing something that gave me some extra yards. So there's that to consider. But you need to think about your own driving game before you take that on board. 2 is the advice that pretty much any pro would give to a new golfer, which is if you're a junior, and this is from chatting to Peter Finch, actually spoke to me about this, the best advice he would give to anyone who's a junior is hit the ball as hard, as fast as you can to try and get it as far as you can, and we will work on getting it in the middle further down the line. It's easier to hone your game when you've got the distance than it is to get the distance after you've honed your game. However, that's advice to a junior who's looking to go pro. How many guys, Tom, do we know that don't hit the ball any further than 220 yards down the middle of the fairway, older boys, and still are low single-figured golfers? You do not need to hit the ball a long way to be a single-figured golfer. However, I can only talk from my own experience and say what a massive difference hitting a consistent 250 drive has done to my game.
I think there's a part of this as well, which is that you can easily get distracted by the people you play with. When we play with someone who's really good and he's off 3 or 2 or whatever, and he or she absolutely bombs it like miles, you can get quite intimidated by that and feel like, oh, to be as good as them, I need to hit it as far as them. And I mean, I've played with, when I played the guy of +2 and he bombs these drives, and it's a confidence thing. He's just got the confidence to knock that ball up to within 10 yards of the green, and you're playing against someone who's got to chip. If they get up and down, they've got the easiest birdie imaginable. And you can conflate the distance with the skill, and it's like, no, the reason they're good at hitting it that far is because of the skill. Like, you can't match that skill unless you practice skill across your game, and distance will come with it as well, if that makes sense. I would just try and get better across the board, but chasing just hitting the ball further is too simplistic for me. I think it's changing things too much. Just get better across the board, I would say.
I also think that the big thing here is, obviously, single figures is good golf, but in the grand scheme of golf, it's not that good, right? And the amount of
why are you undermining my... The only thing I'm proud of in my entire life is the fact that I'm a single-figure golfer. Why would you undermine that?
No, but the reason I'm mentioning this is I think for so long I had this, and if you only play with a certain type of golfer, this revolution happened in my head when I joined my golf club and played with loads of different types of golfers, a lot of single-figure golfers who all have very different golf games. Single figures does not look like one thing.
No, that's so true. That's so true. We have this idea of single figures as this glorious single figures, and it's like, no, there are messy single figures.
God.
Yeah.
Should we do another one? I think it's an interesting one, Ollie. I think
it is a really interesting
pursue whatever you want. Pursue whatever you want in this game. I agree with Tom in the sense of you're not going to instantly get better by hitting the ball further. But what I would say is, and I know you can hit driver, so you're in a different position to me, but getting driver away was the most important thing in my year.
Yeah. Also, sorry, and this is the last thing on this, because actually it's pretty much time for products before we do another email. We haven't got time for another email.
No, it can't be. How have we done this?
Yeah. Because
what's the point?
Absolute kings of the waffle, mate. It's quality content. It's the UK's second biggest golf podcast. It's fun. This is the thing. It's worth mentioning this. You can get too serious and wrapped up in stuff. It's fun. If it's really good fun, if you find it fun to go to the range over winter and get hitting that ball further and harder, let me go and do it. Ignore everything I've just said. If it's fun, because it is really good fun when you whack it miles, but sometimes that pursuit of that fun can have a big detrimental impact on your scoring and enjoyment of the actual other parts of the game. So if you're prepared to be I'm just going to park everything else and go for it and start whacking balls everywhere. Great, go for it. But be prepared for the fact that your score and your sense of chill and vibe as you walk around the course is going to be impacted, and you're going to find yourself in different places.
Tom, could we quickly do Reese's email before products? Because the answers are quite quick, and
yes.
I refuse to do an email special where we do 2 emails. I just refuse.
Good evening, guys. As the same as 75% of golfers, I've recently got into wanting a l.a.b putter. I've noticed a lot of YouTube golfers, Finch, Gaz Beadle, Golf Supply, Grant Horvat, Phil Mickelson, and of course you guys, have gone on about how much they love them. And then they've gone back to their Scotty Spiders, in our case, Pings. I guess the ultimate question is, are l.a.b putters a bit of a fad? Anyway, they're still at the top of my list. Keep up the good work. I would say they have been a game changer. They've been a disruptor, and a lot of people have used them, and a lot of big, well-known golf brands have gone, we better try and make something that's a competitor to that. And as a result, a lot of people have gone back to their putters, their original brands that now make versions of a l.a.b putter. Are they a fad? They've definitely been popular this year. I think they'll hold on because they're still doing very well.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting. There's been a few emails I've seen where people have said, hold on, you guys had l.a.b putters, why are they no longer in the bag? I mean, complete transparency on that, because I think that's really important, is we are now, and have been all year, signed with Ping, and we are through the bag Ping, so we have Ping putters. I love my Ping putter.
It's so good.
But also I never wanted to sign a brand deal with a brand partner and not be able to tell you guys the truth. And the truth is, I loved my l.a.b putter. I had a really, really good time with it when I had it in the bag. I don't want people to take away the fact that I don't have it in the bag anymore as l.a.b's crap. No, that's not true. I really enjoyed my l.a.b putter. I equally love my Ping putter, but l.a.b was really, really good. However, do you know my little... You know, Tom, my little conspiracy, my l.a.b conspiracy, right? You know about this.
What's your l.a.b conspiracy? Oh, hang on, Tom. Should we find out the l.a.b conspiracy after the products?
Oh! This guy breeds commercial broadcasting.
Come on, here's Phil Collins.
My God. He would be wasted on the BBC. What would you tease?
Oh, God, absolutely nothing. Something on iPlayer. All right, here's some ads.
Right, you've been waiting, or maybe if there weren't ads there, you weren't waiting. Some platforms don't have the adverts. It doesn't matter. My l.a.b conspiracy.
Yeah.
You might have noticed that for a while, l.a.b was everywhere. You couldn't move for l.a.b putters.
Yes, this is a great conspiracy. Yes.
Everyone was getting gifted them. We were getting gifted them. Mm-hmm. Every influencer on the planet had a l.a.b putter in their bag, right? And a lot of companies, when you work in golf or whatever, will happily gift you stuff, but not quite as easy as l.a.b was.
Yeah, it was mad. Yeah, it was mad, yeah.
And I think I know why.
This isn't a conspiracy. This is fact. This is spot on. So
this year, the guy behind l.a.b sold the majority share in the company to another company. He basically sold the company, sold l.a.b putters. Mm-hmm. And I think potentially there was a strategy from l.a.b to get the putters into as many people's hands as they can to build up all this hype. You can't remember
they
what
were
it was
popping
like at the start of the
on
year.
Socials. They were popping on socials, and that was a plan. It was a strategy.
You couldn't scroll on socials without seeing a l.a.b putter.
Yes.
I think this was a strategy from them to get them everywhere, hype up that price, then sell the business.
Yes.
By the way, on this, I still rate them. I still rate the product. I don't think it's a hype product. I think they've got a really interesting thing. The whole lie angle balance thing's really interesting. But I do have a little conspiracy theory about that.
Also, lie angle balance is not unique to l.a.b. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like,
not anymore.
Ping will do that for you if you go and get a putter fitting, which is a really good idea. I would say as well, I do like my Ping wand. Oh my God, I love it so much. My l.a.b putter I liked initially, but there was a major problem with my l.a.b putter, which was that I did the fitting online and they were amazing. Lots of feedback and lots of emails backwards and forwards. But I thought I liked a heavy putter, and it arrived and I was like, I don't like heavy putter. I like light putters. Because then I had to go with yours, Tom, and yours was much lighter. And I realised I really like light putters. So if you are getting a fitting done online, you really got to make sure you know what you want. And I didn't. I thought, I like a heavy putter. And it turns out I really don't. And I didn't know that until the thing arrives from America, by which point, let's be honest, it's too late. You're not going to send the blooming thing back, are you? You can mess around with the weights on it, I guess. But, you really have to think very carefully. And basically, what I'm saying is physically go and hold the object. And yes, you can do that with l.a.b, but you can do that across the board now with loads of different manufacturers.
Yeah, do you know? Oh god, we're getting bogged down here because I think there's so many amazing lessons actually. But I think what you said there is really important. That it took until this year and the l.a.b ping experience for me to realise what sort of putter I actually liked.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So what I would suggest, if you are, especially as you get into single figures and it starts to mean a bit more and those putting stats are really important and you're taking this game a bit more seriously, I would say if you remember, go to your local pro, because they often will let you borrow putters and have a feel of something. Go and take out a load of putters. Take out an amazing ping putter. Take out the Answer. Take out a TaylorMade Spider. Take out a l.a.b. Take out a Scotty Cameron and
look like an absolute weirdo.
Oh, yeah. 5 putters, you're going to look mad. But at least walk away from the course knowing the sort of putter that you like. Because that, for me, was a big experience this year, is when I sent my mad email to Ping, which made me sound like I was a tour pro and I just shot 90 in Scotland. Going, I have an exact thing that I'm looking for. Can you help? Anyway.
Okay, come on, let's move on. Jack Owens, Thomas, your turn. Come on, let's go Jack Owens once you've had your isotonic drink.
Oh, Jack Owens, of course it is. Hi, Toms. Got listening to the pod recently after watching on TikTok. Dun, dun, dun. I've just started playing golf and instantly hooked. I'm absolutely awful. Best score so far is 106, with my second best being over 120. However, that one clean drive is what hooked me. I've been playing about 6 or 7 rounds so far. I'm looking on becoming a member so I can gain a handicap and join competitions. With 2 kids, 5 and 3. God, there's too many numbers in this. Look up the numbers in this. With 2 kids, 5 and 3, and a third on the way.
Oh,
and it's not mental when you read it, but when you see
Jack.
it,
oh my word!
And getting out to play isn't easy, but I've been playing
you need
midweek.
to play with a softer shaft. Let me tell you that. That is a disaster. That's good stuff. That's very good stuff.
It's a wonkle joke, but playing midweek is a lot easier for me. But have no one to play with. What? Oh, midweek doesn't have any midweek friends. So what's the best advice for someone who will only be able to play once a week? And also, what's the best set of irons for a beginner? I've currently got a second-hand set of pings that are at least 20 years old. Thanks, Jack. P.S. I'm not sure if the challenge of getting to below 100 or just the few hours of being kid-free that I love more. Yes.
Familiar with that. I'll get some pings for you. Get some G440s if you're at that stage. G440 irons, I'd say. If you fancy, going for it, why not?
Yeah. Ping are known for being the most forgiving clubs in golf. We're not just saying that because we work with them. It is just 100% true. The G440 is the most forgiving driver anyone's ever had in their whole hand ever. But their big cavity back irons, those like player distance irons, are so good. The G440s, as Tom said, are a great example of that. So big, modern cavity back Jack are what you want.
Cavity back Jack. And what was the other advice? Like, how do you enjoy it if you're only playing once a week? I mean, it's very, very difficult, and you really have to park all expectations. I think that's the most important thing. You cannot go out there when you've got your precious 2 or 3 hours away from what sounds like a domestic nightmare. Blink twice if you need help. You just have to breathe in the enjoyment and not think you're going to improve. You're not going to improve your handicap. You are not going to put a great score in, and if you do it, it'll be a one-off and enjoy it. But as long as you think in that way, as long as you expect just to enjoy being out there, you'll actually have a really great time. But don't think you're going to build a game.
On that, Tom, I don't know if I 100% agree. Okay,
once a week's not enough. It's just not enough.
No, it's definitely not enough to get down to like 10. Right, but if you're shooting 120,
I suppose so. Yeah, that's true.
I think there's a level of like, I look at my mate Eki, for example, who,
Eki.
I mean, can you imagine how frustrating this was? He's a U, right, without the kids, but he doesn't play very much. Came to Porter's Park. I was like, oh yeah, mate, I'll give you like 18 shots or whatever. We both shot an 84. What is it? It's gross. Just furious. But anyway, he's in that thing of playing. I was furious. Playing once a week. I think you can get a lot better. I think you can break 100 by playing once a week, because there's a skill level that you just need to get, which will just come. But the idea of getting down to like a 10 once a week is not going to happen.
That is exactly true. If you are hitting those scores 100, 120, yes, playing once a week, there is still stuff you can do. You can still, we've talked about this a lot on previous episodes. If you're hitting 110s, 120s, try playing with half your clubs one week. Get rid of your drivers one week. Just chip with one club one week. Like all these different things. Like there's loads you can do, and if you're doing that once a week, you can still improve massively. So yes, you're absolutely right, Tom.
Be boring.
I'm moving on to Kyle Bourne. There's always a pause before we say the name because we're checking the email to make sure there isn't a big thing saying don't.
Yeah, I think you're clear, Price.
We're clear to mention Kyle. Hi, Toms. Listening last week, to you talking about the Noel Fielding Jinx Jester.
Oh my God, this is so out of date.
If you weren't listening, I'm so sorry. That was so niche.
You've got to go back to what? That was like midsummer.
Oh, well, August, wasn't it? That's when he emailed in August. I was playing the Club Champs and I summoned Fielding in my game. Our Club Champs is a 2-day scratch medal format. On day one, I played terribly, but I scored well enough to make it into the final group. Only 5 shots off the lead. That evening, I was telling everyone, within earshot, I was in the final group of my Club Champs. No one cared until my sister-in-law, who has zero interest in golf, said, "That's cool, I can caddy for you," to which I agreed. This is a great topic. Do not let a non-golfer anywhere near you on an important day. Because as I think we're about to discover, non-golfers don't understand that when you screw up, it's not funny, actually. In fact, it's not funny.
Yeah.
Right?
Why'd you hit it in the water? That's not the way you want it.
Oh my God. Watching my poor nephew Seth playing with my brother Guy, and Seth had never played golf before. And the whole round, it was my other nephew's birthday party. The whole round, Seth was saying, "Good shot, Dad. Good shot, Dad." And then eventually, my brother snapped as he hit a ball into the lake. And he went, "Good shot, Dad." My brother just went, "It's not a good shot. It's in the water."
Oh,
so mental. Anyway, on the morning of the final day, the man that was leading had to pull out due to personal reasons. Yes! That's a joke. Nothing serious, don't worry. It was good for me. I was now just 1 shot back of the now leader. As an 8 handicap, I've got no right to be in that position. But nonetheless, I'm playing some good golf. And the lack of knowledge in the game from my blister-in-law actually helped me take my mind off the game and play with no pressure.
Hey.
Word was filtering through to us that unless myself or the other gent in my group had a meltdown, the winner was probably going to be one of us. I would S the B at this stage. I would now be S everywhere.
I would be S-ing on the green, S-ing on the tee, be S-ing on my sister-in-law. It'd be brutal. Be like a German nightclub.
Oh my God. Why has there been a landslide on the 14th? Oh, it's just Tom. Tom's S himself.
Tom thinks he might win.
Anyway, I got back to level pegging, walking off the 15th green, sliding off in my own S. Then I looked at my sister-in-law. And summoned the jester. We've got a chance here, and if we win, you're going to have to cancel your plans for every Sunday to caddy for me from now on. And just like that,
Noel Fielding comes running through the S.
Fielding was released. Release the Fielding. He must have been floating above me, and the remainder of the round, I went bogey, double, triple. I lost by 5 shots.
Unreal.
That's horrendous. Keep up the great work. I love the pod and I love the course vlogs. Oh, course vlogs, Tom Green.
Course vlogs. We should do more of them.
Strokes chin in a meaningful way. Kyle, thank you very much. That so far, by the way, Tom, is my email of the week. That has made me laugh. In fact, you know what? We are pretty much at time now. So I think maybe that is the one to call it as the email of the week because that's really made me laugh a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's an unbelievable email. So much to digest there, actually. One, it really has warmed the cockles of my heart, the idea that as a fellow 8 handicapper, I too could get down to the final few moments of a course champs.
Yeah.
I mean, that's unbelievable, isn't
it?
Huge.
Absolutely huge.
That's really cool. 2, I don't think, maybe this is just me, we mentioned this with the whole Preston Golf Club saga weeks ago. I am a sucker for routine and things being the same and being cozy. That's how I perform my best. I'm a cozy broadcaster, right?
Lovely.
If you were to see me on the radio, it's all dark in my studio.
Oh my God.
It.
He's like a little crab.
Like a little crab. I'm a crab boy, little crab boy, right? And when I play golf, I have to have the exact same setup, which is I have my card in the same place. I have everything it's all together, right? It has to be. This is why I only play well at home, because it's routine. The idea of on the whim going, and now my sister-in-law's going to caddy. No. Nothing can be on the whim for club champs.
It's crazy to do that. It sounds like it worked for a bit, but it's just the arrival of someone who'll go, that was a good shot, with you going, no, it wasn't. What are you talking about? I just missed the ball. Why are you saying that's a good shot? It's so funny. I love it.
Keep your emails coming in. The toms at golfersruiningmylife.co.uk. Tom, I'm going to call this now. I'm going to say this.
Go on.
2 things to say. Yeah. In fact, 3 things to say.
Oh, God.
Thing 1 is next Monday's episode is also going to be emails. I'm calling it now.
Oh,
we have to get through the backlog.
We've got to get through.
I'm calling it.
We continue. We carry on.
We're going to do more emails because we have to.
Yeah.
Get your emails in because we've got a sponsor jumping on board that starts in November.
Oh,
so you're going to get stuff.
Yes.
Stuff's going to happen. Mm-hmm. And they're a friend of the show. We're really excited to work with them. That starts in November. Get your emails in now. And 3, there was a bottom of someone's email that I don't think we read, asking about merch. I just only yesterday put in a huge new merch order for a product we've never launched. That's really exciting.
This is massive news. It's absolutely massive news. It's one size fits all, adjustable at the back. I wouldn't want to give away what the product is.
Tom, why do you say that?
It's very, very exciting. When are they going to be ready? I mean, I should ask you this off air, maybe on a WhatsApp.
Dunno. Quite quick normally. My guy's quite good.
Okay, well...
By the way, my guy, the merch guy that we work with, right?
Yes.
Just so you know, right? He does merch, right, for like really, really big bands.
I know this.
Like really big, like artists like we all like.
The Beatles.
Prodigy and like Oasis.
The Rolling Stones.
Yeah, that sort of thing. Yeah. But yeah, it's really good stuff, guys. And coming soon. So anyway, less of this, more emails on Monday.
More emails on Monday. Bye. Lots of love. Bye.
Bye-bye.